Have you ever found yourself being ignored? Do people tend not to do as you ask? Well, after this short video, you'll have 3 new principles that you can follow to win people onto your way of thinking. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hello. This is Secrets to Success, the place where you can learn everything you need to become the person that you want to be. Now, the first thing you need to do is be friendly. A drop of honey catches more flies than a gallon of gall. Of course, we all know the story where the sun and its warmth can make you take off your coat much quicker than the cold wind. These ideas have been around for decades, and yet few people practice them in their day-to-day lives. Kindness, a friendly approach, appreciation are much more effective at influencing a person's thoughts and behaviour than all the shouting and swearing in the world. The second thing to do is when you're talking to someone, make sure you start with the things that you agree on. Don't start the conversation by discussing the things that you disagree on. Instead, emphasize and keep emphasizing the things on which you agree. Get the other person saying yes as much as possible, and whatever you do, keep them from saying no. You see, once the other person says no, their pride will take over and it will demand that they stay consistent with themselves. Now, even if they do change their mind, they'll have a hard time admitting it. They'll feel they'll have to stick with their original opinion. A great example of this can be found in Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. He writes about a banker and a man who comes into the bank to open an account. The man was given a form to fill in, but he refused to complete some of the questions. Now, a person uneducated on the study of human relations would have simply said that no form equals no account. But this banker had a little more sense, and using this principle, he was able to keep the man from saying no. And this is how he did it. First of all, he agreed with the man. He agreed that the information that the man refused to give was not imperative to opening the account. But he also said, suppose you have money in this bank on your death. Wouldn't you like for us to transfer it to your next of kin? Of course, the man said. Well then, don't you think it would be a good idea to give us the name of your next of kin so that in the event of your death, we can carry out your wishes? Yes, of course, the man replied, and gave over the name of his next of kin. The banker went through each unanswered question on the form, applying a similar line of questioning and receiving a yes, yes, yes from the man until the form was complete. Another way to win people onto your way of thinking is to invoke competition. The way to get things done is to stimulate competition. I do not mean in a sordid, money-getting way, but in the desire to excel. Charles M. Schwab said that. Charles was an American steel magnate with management skills ahead of his time. During the early 1900s, Charles wanted to increase the amount of work that his steel workers produced, and to do that he decided to invoke a competitive drive in his employees. At the end of the day, just before the night shift came in, Charles asked one of the daytime employees how many heats that their shift made that day. The answer was 6, and Charles proceeded to draw a huge 6 on the ground in chalk. That evening, the night shift workers came in and saw this big 6 on the floor. They of course asked what it meant. They were told that the big boss wrote it. It was how many heats the day shift made. The next morning, Charles walked through the factory once more and found that the night shift had rubbed out the 6 and replaced it with a big number 7. Fast forward 10 hours and the day shift had replaced the number 7 with a big number 10. Shortly after, this mill, which had been lagging far behind in production, was turning out more work than any other mill in the area. So there you have it. There are 3 key principles that you can use to win people onto your way of thinking. Following these principles should help you increase your leadership skills, and you'll soon find people start doing as you ask. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the content, and if you have, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.